Hello students, you all are welcome in grade 6, chapter 15, Air Around Us. The topic, how does oxygen become available to animals and plants living in water and soil? So let's restart from this activity number 5. Dear students, take some water in a glass or metal container, heat it slowly on tripod stand. Well, before the water begins to boil, look carefully at the inner surface. On that inner surface you find some bubbles. So here is the question from the Paheli. Will tiny air bubbles seen before the water actually boils also appear if we do this activity by reheating boiled water kept in airtight bottle? If you do not know answer, you may try doing it and see yourself. So in that container we find some bubbles. So do you see these tiny bubbles on the inside? Yes. And these bubbles come from the air dissolving water. So when you heat the water to begin with, air dissolve in it escapes. Wherever the air which dissolve in, then immediately it will be move away. As you continue heating, the water itself turn into water vapor. Finally it begins to boil. We learned in this chapter number 8 and 9 that the animal living in water use the dissolved oxygen in the water. So the organisms that live in soil also need oxygen to respire, isn't it? How do they get the air they need for the respiration? So through this activity number 5 we can say that oxygen dissolve in the water. So the in the aquatic animals they get oxygen, right? For the oxygen they just come up on the surface of the water to get the oxygen and immediately goes inside. So like this way we can say that oxygen is available in the water. Now activity number 6. Take a lump of dry soil in the beaker or a glass, add water to it. Note what happens. Do you see the bubbles coming out from the soil? Right? So these bubbles indicate the presence of air in the soil. So in soil air is present, in water air is present. Right? In water air is present. Just now we have seen in this activity number 5 that bubbles we can find. When the water is poured on the lump of the soil, it displaces the air which is seen in the form of bubbles. The organisms that live inside the soil and the plant's root respire in this air. A lot of burrows and holes are formed in deep soil by animals living in the soil. These burrows also make spaces available for the air to move in and out of the soil. So however, when it rains heavily, water fill up all the spaces occupied by the air in the soil. In these situations, animals living in the soil have to come out for the respirations. Correct? So could this be the reason why the earthworms come out of the soil only during the heavy rains? Due to this reason only. So whenever the heavy rain is there, at that time all the burrowing animals they just come out for getting oxygen. They just come out for getting oxygen. Even snake, that moles, right? All burrowing animals they just come out for getting oxygen during the heavy rains. So have you ever wondered why all the oxygen of the atmosphere does not get used up though a large number of organisms are consuming it? Who is refilling the oxygen in the atmosphere? Right? So nature. Through nature, oxygen is refilling in the atmosphere. And the life cycle, the whole ecosystem. Next topic, how is the oxygen in the atmosphere replaced? In chapter number 7, dear students, we read about the photosynthesis, right? Through the photosynthesis, oxygen balance is there in the nature. In this process, plants make their own food and oxygen is produced along with it. Plants also consume oxygen for the respirations, but they produce more of it then they consume. That's why we say that plants produce oxygen, right? Plants uses carbon dioxide and releases oxygen. It is obvious that animals cannot live without plants. So the balance of the oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmospheres is maintained through the respiration in plants and animals and by the photosynthesis in plants. This shows the interdependence of the plants and animals. We can now appreciate how important air is for the life on the earth. Are there any other uses of air? Have you heard about a windmill? Yes, as you see the windmill, right? Through this we can get the energy with the help of air. Correct. The wind makes the windmill rotate. The windmill is used to draw water from the tube wells and to run floor mills. Windmills are also used to generate electricity. Air helps in the movement of sailing, yachts, gliders, parachutes, and aeroplanes. Birds, bats, insects can fly due to the presence of air. So air also helps us in the dispersal of seeds and pollen of flower of several plants. So air plays an important role in the water cycle. So students, you see the air, the uses of air. First of all, to run the windmills wherever the geographical conditions, wherever the wind speed is high, at that places such a big windmills are launched, right? So wherever the remote area electricity is not possible there, those places through windmill we can provide the electricity. It is also used to run yachts, gliders, parachutes, right? To run floor mills and to get the electricity. So like this way air plays an important role in the water cycle. So dear students, let's we see wind energy, how it creates. So just now you have enjoyed the video of the windmill. Okay, it is the largest wind farm in Southeast Asia. Okay, so like this way you can launch the windmill and get the electricity wherever in remote area electricity is not available. Okay, so here this chapter is over. Thank you. Have a nice day. Next time I will send extra videos and its notes. Thank you.